The Forgotten City is rated teen by the ESRB. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everybody and welcome back to The Forgotten City. So we've kind of seen in the first part a little bit of what this game is, but not really how it works. I'm sorry, sir. I was just trying to... What are you grumbling at, mister?
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
Okay, what's your
Can't
story?
talk long. Got to stay sharp, but family's from Solution on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions, the 6th, the one they call Ironclads. Same way as everyone else.
Same way as everyone else. What does that mean? Why are you still wearing your legionary armor?
Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious?
Why don't you have a weapon?
Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid. Going to have to improvise now.
How much of a talker are
If you
you?
were dealing with what I am, you wouldn't be either.
What are you
None
dealing
of
with?
your business. Introiti ipsam commensula.
Let's talk about something
We have
else.
to.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people.
I know the feeling. I've lived through a pandemic.
Then you know what I'm talking about. I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. Well, we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned.
What do you think is coming?
I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like they're waiting for something. I don't like it.
I think you're
Of
right.
course I am.
I've gotten kind of a creepy feeling about them. Who are you going to vote for?
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin.
I mean, fair.
How's he going to protect us?
Let's talk about something
Fine.
else. I don't think I'm ready to get involved in this whatever election's coming up. Do you know a way out of
If
here?
I did, do you think we'd be having this conversation?
Okay, fair. Fair, I'll be going.
Whatever.
I was going to the Temple of Apollo. Was it? Shrine of Apollo. Same difference. Oh. Oh, so, wait. Lucretia.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Yulia. She was a good woman.
What
She
happened?
was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the Golden Rule. So all
fair.
I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the Golden Rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Is something I could do to help?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetricum fututo and scratching his eyes out.
I'll get right on it.
Well, come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
Sounds good. I am sorry, Yulia. Collection of barbaric-looking medical implements, including forceps and shears. Oh, I am sorry, Yulia. Mortal and pestle haven't changed much in the last 2 millennia. Okay, doesn't look like... Ooh, Apollo. Oh, dear. Large stone statue of Apollo, the Roman and Greek god of disease and healing, among other things. Okay. Old chest, locked. Okay. I don't know. I honestly don't know why I'm here. Hello, sir.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to
Greek?
see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail?
I'm from beyond the edge of the known world.
Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
Why set up a tailor shop here?
You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule, and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
Yes, more or less.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
I suppose so.
Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
How'd you end up here?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Why don't you tell me what you do remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and droning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this.
I mean,
This
fair.
time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
So you floated down the Tiber?
Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am. Anything you like.
What do you think of the Golden Rule?
Yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The Golden Rule has merely brought it into focus.
That's... What can we do about
If
it?
we are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, "Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing."
Sounds simple enough.
Doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
I know. I've seen it happen.
Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the Golden Rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
Who are you gonna vote
That,
for?
my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Let's talk about
But
something
of
else.
course,
Do you know a way out of here?
not so loud! What are you playing at?
Sorry, did I say the wrong thing?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
The last attempt.
Then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story.
Not as if I'm going anywhere.
Ah, you are witty. I like that. Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
Why hasn't anyone done that yet?
They have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
That's fair. Got it, thanks. I'll be going now.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. So he's using these statues as clothing things. Decius? Is that your name? Loaf of bread. Circular loaf of bread. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't feel like stealing necessarily. Ooh, what is this? Roman recipe for bread. Okay then. Stone mill. You, DC. Obvious the thief stole my purse, and I, whoever wrote this, did not get to finish. Salve, friend.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
What's your
I
story?
mean, how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Let's hear it.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, hoping to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
You chose the cart, didn't
Of
you?
course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
I think I see where this is going.
Naturally, I dived in after it, hoping to salvage my fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank not far from here with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Sounds like you got what you... commiseration? I don't know. Sounds
I
like you
couldn't
got what
agree
you
more. I mean, sure, I'd lost a few thousand denarii, but I've already made it back, and this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
What do you think of the golden
Terrible
rule?
for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
Okay. Hasn't the magistrate banned weapons?
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet.
Let's see what I can
Thank you,
do.
friend.
Who are you gonna vote for?
Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us? Certainly.
You know a way out of
I'm
here?
afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Really? I
Oh,
hadn't
yeah,
noticed.
Gotta watch out. Old Dacius has got your back, though.
I
Certainly.
need some silver
All
resin.
I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
You're price gouging over life-saving medicine? What's wrong with
Oh, it's
you?
perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
Hey, take it? Did you hear that?
What?
Never mind.
You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands.
What
She
happened to
claimed the
Navia?
statues were whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again. But I digress. Do you want this Silphium or not?
I don't have
Very
that kind of
well.
money.
Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget?
I'll be
Very
going
well.
now.
Another time.
Steal the Silphium resin? I mean... If this was any other game, it is what I would do. But... I don't know. Should I cause what I assume to be the end of the... Yeah, sure, why not? Steal item. Follow the magistrate.
The many shall suffer
There it is.
for the sins of the one.
Okay. Sentius. I'm coming, Sentius. After everything we've built. To be fair, that was me. Yeah, I'm following the magistrate. Oh! Oh, so those were his bones. Okay. So in theory, I should have what I need to save Yulia. We're gonna...
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
We've had this conversation before.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Your name is Galerius, and you're about to offer to take me to see Sentius so he can tell me about the Golden Rule.
I guess, how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
No problem, I have to go.
And since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
A zipline handlebar.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking.
If it works?
And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself.
It's fair.
But don't worry, it's completely safe.
Probably.
Probably.
Probably, mate. Thanks, I'll be going
Alright.
now.
See you around.
So I assume the one he's referencing is this one. Okay then. 'Tis much faster. That the sound of me hitting... Okay, just put the flashlight away, Aaron. We are in ancient Rome, I guess? I don't know. So if we can make it here...
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cumulatus decius won't give it to me.
I have Silphium resin. Here, take a little.
What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
Honestly, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Look, if you don't want to tell me, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. But no matter. That was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
What's your story?
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
That's fair. How'd you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke. And the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
Why are you working out of a shrine?
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Tell me more about Nevia?
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying, but I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain.
Sounds horrible. Go on.
He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off, and I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to
Sounds like
treat
Virgil.
him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
I'll get right on it.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. Let me know
Treatment
how
for
you go.
rheumatism. Julia?
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose.
You
Was
suppose?
there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Can I ask you what
As
happened
much
to you?
as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
I want to know how someone poisoned you without breaking the golden rule.
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
Can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
I have all the time in the
Alright.
world.
I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
Why would he lend you so much money?
I had to sign an agreement, saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
Oh no.
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
Really, that would have broken the golden rule.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing. My hemlock.
Ah, I see.
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
I'm sorry to hear
I
that.
brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what happened to you now?
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
Sorry, can I do anything to help you?
It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
I have a better idea. How much would it cost to buy your freedom?
But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
Perhaps I can help him too.
I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
I'll get right on it. Huh, so
May
apparently...
Apollo keep you safe.
Yeah, apparently suicide doesn't break the pact. I guess we're heading up there to see Ulpius. Yeah, he's appears to be up there, so bluff, okay. To survive, we must all be kind. Corrected to, we must all be wise. Corrected to, we must be obedient. And finally corrected to, we must all be question mark. Who are you? Someone rolling a boulder up a hill. Wow. Is this Atlas? Or, no, he wasn't the one that had to roll the boulder. He was the one that had to hold the world. I don't remember.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia.
Oh, you're Octavia.
Welcome to life under the golden rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
Actually I need to talk to Ulpius.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no, No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please, please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
Alright, I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
Ulpius, can we talk?
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire.
I was just going to ask you, what's wrong?
I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that Culus Cumulatis Malleolus for the rest of my life. I am out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love, I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! I can't believe he went through with it. Oh Lord. That poor lamb. That was not your fault. There's no way you could have given him what he wanted, moments after you arrived.
That's fair. His suicide didn't break the golden rule. What does that mean?
Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the golden rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine.
What happens
I'll
now?
have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And I'd best pray for poor Ulpius.
Jump. Oh. Did he Well. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been
The locked villa.
elected your magistrate. Magistrate, yes. Yes,
I
thank you.
don't really want him to... What is down here? Nothing? Okay.
And now, I make this solemn promise. Did
Hello.
you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above?
Different
That
colored
was
eyes.
either extremely reckless or impressively clever. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me?
What's your story?
I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
What will you do if you win?
I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny.
How will you do that?
By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule. It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie?
What makes you makes you sure it's not real?
The person making a claim bears the onus of proving that claim. Can you do that? Can you prove the Golden Rule is real?
Golden rule is definitely real.
Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
What would it take to prove to you it's real? Books? Notes?
Surely you're not one of those people who believes everything you read. As if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down.
Even if I can't prove it, If I'm right, then accepting it will avert disaster. If I'm wrong, then accepting it will make the city a better place. Isn't that a good
I
thing?
disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish.
I can see that nothing I say is going to convince you.
True, but that is simply because you are mistaken.
You know anything about Centilia's
Of
disappearance?
course not. But as I always say, if Sentius can't protect his daughter, how can we trust him to protect this city?
What aren't you telling me?
Look, if you're trying to find her, you may wish to check the cisterns beneath this villa. Domitius says he saw a body there some weeks back. Of course, just to be clear, I take no responsibility for what happens to you down there.
I'll be
trust
going
you
now.
can see yourself out.
Yeah.
Through the door this time. There's a key just beside it.
Getting access to a key sounds amazing. Key. That's mine.
Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected to your
Okay. Well, I guess that's the sister he's talking about. What do I want to work on? So I probably need to go through another period to get him to stop. Thorn in the paw, figure out treatment for rheumatism. You just talk to Navi in the palace behind closed doors. The front door is locked, must be another way in. Straight as an arrow, obtain a bow. Democracy in action, figure out how to make Malleolus drop out of the election. You need to dig up some dirt on him somehow. Vanishing act. That's just Centilia's. Okay, well, I assume there's still some people we haven't met. We haven't talked to you.
Isn't our great temple majestic? A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
What's the status of the
It
election?
must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Can I nominate
You
another
can,
candidate?
assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
What's your role in the
I'm
election?
responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Who's allowed to
All
vote?
of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
Can I vote then?
Well, you're not a citizen yet. So, no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Such
By
as?
using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
Let's talk about something else. What's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
I mean, fair. Sorry, what should I have done?
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
How did you end up here?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
A young woman named Karen dragged me out of the river, unconscious, and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you?
I think I see where this is
You
going.
do? Well then, have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember, and see if you notice any patterns.
Alright, I'll do that.
Good. Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you, too.
I may have already noticed a pattern.
Then what is it?
Some people mentioned a
Yes,
river.
I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
That's all I noticed so far.
There are definitely some common threads there. But I think we'll need at least a few to ensure we're not just seeing coincidences. Keep
That's
asking
fair.
people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first. Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Okay. So basically I
Keeping
need to
an
go
eye on
around
things, Horatius?
or ask everyone. So I've met you. There's someone there. What was that?
Help!
Oh.
You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
Maybe we shouldn't
What?
meet in there.
We don't have time for this. I have to go.
Never mind, I don't know why I said that.
The shrine is collapsing.
Oi. Oh, that's a shame. That there's a darn tootin' shame. Well, she said that he was up here, right? Fabia. So this is the baths, right? Oh, there's the fellow. Hello there.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
I don't know what
I'm not sure
Quincius.
I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood?
I swear I wasn't
you are
lying.
not off to a good start. When I ask you a question, I expect an answer. Is that understood?
Got it.
Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place?
We're just a small community of strangers who wound up here by accident.
A small community. Ha! I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
Wait, what's a mystery cult?
Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ. You lot are all the same to me. Always sneaking off to your secret sanctuaries, indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now, but after what Quinctius did, those days are numbered.
You got the wrong idea. We're not cultists.
You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret?
We're not keeping it a secret. We're all trapped
so
in
you
here.
admit you're not allowed to leave.
It's not that we're not allowed to leave. We physically can't leave. There's no way out.
Threatening me is not going to help you. But in any case, that sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
It's not a mantra, it's a warning.
A distinction without a difference. You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense. Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues?
They were once people who were turned to gold as
You lot are
punishment.
practicing human sacrifice too. You people disgust me.
We didn't turn them into gold, a god did it. We don't know which one.
Of course you'd say that, but that's what your kind do, isn't it? Our god told us to do it. It's all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists. There's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal. They just can't see what they've become. However, you still have a chance to redeem yourself by telling me where Quintius is. Do not waste it.
What can you tell me about Quintius?
Very well. Here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue. He's also known to have delusions.
That sounds familiar.
of grandeur. The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible for starting the fire which burnt half of Rome to the ground and killed thousands in the process.
Perhaps the Emperor was looking for a scapegoat.
Who are you to challenge what the Emperor says? Were you there? Do you have spies and scouts all over Rome, like he does? No, you do not. This is your last chance. Are you going to tell me where he is or not?
I have no idea who or where he is.
Then you're of no use to me. Do you have any last words?
Fire an arrow, everyone here is going
Well,
to die.
I'd say that's rather convenient, since I was planning to kill you all anyway.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Well, I guess we're doing this again. Wade against the current. Ow! Wade against the current. Oh my gosh. Okay. We might be in danger. There's probably one more that they'll be able to get, might be able to get a beat on me, and it's this one. Okay, made it around that corner just in time. Yeah, I gotcha. And with this teleportation, I think that's actually going to be the end of this episode. We will keep trying to figure out what we're meant to do and how we're meant to save this city. Until then, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.